availability issues going into this week? Is that a...
Availability issues?
Yeah.
Like injury updates?
Yeah, any injury updates?
Well, JP's questionable, if that's what you're asking. I thought you didn't. Thought you noticed something.
Well, I saw him on the side. I wasn't sure that.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's questionable to very questionable because it's early in the season. He's been dealing with a little bit of hamstring tightness, so chances are he's not going to play.
I saw Georgie's been out here this week.
Yeah.
He had posted something on his Instagram about made it sound like there was a significant concern.
Yeah.
Anything you can speak to that?
I can speak to a little bit of it because I'm not familiar with all the medical terminology that happened, but he had a problem with his eye, and it was a serious problem with his eye. Some blood, fluid, stuff that shouldn't be going on. And it was significant enough for him to miss a bunch of time and try and get that looked at. I know he had a surgical procedure, but he's back. And that's actually a good story because Georgie's a great kid. We love having him around. He's super talented. But he is dealing with that eye issue, and it's something that could be more serious down the road, but our doctors are taking, good care of him.
And I know he's not necessarily a Sounders player, but is the expectation that he's going to be available to play relatively soon for Defiance?
That is something that I'm unaware of, Jeremiah. I don't want to speak for the doctors and when he's going to get actual medical clearance, but he's in full training.
Okay.
So we've had him at full training the last couple of days.
Now, if you have a full week of scouting on St. Louis, what stands out about them and how they press and how you guys could perhaps defend against them?
Well, we're asking Bear because he played against New York Red Bull for many, many years. We don't play against East Coast teams that often, but the coaches from that same line of thinking, they'll be a little bit more direct. They won't play like, Galaxy has a really fluid midfield, lots of possession. Same with Kansas City, they try and play a little bit. So a little different opponent for us. Look, the midfielder's great, the forwards are great. They've done well. But they also have some guys that we know, Nerwinski and Parker. We know some of the guys, so it'll be an interesting game. But certainly a team that, is making some headlines.
A few times this year they've created back passes that have turned into goals.
Well, they've created that or they've been the beneficiaries of. Look, I remember when we went 13 games unbeaten at the beginning of the year to set an MLS record. We got lucky a few times. I mean, when we put Alex in goal and he made this, some of that is good. You make your own luck, Jackson. I don't want to poo-poo St. Louis. But, they were a bit fortunate with some of the goals that they've received.
Is there any messaging to the defenders of don't let it happen again?
No. Everybody, look, we watch goalkeeper blunders on YouTube and all that sort of stuff. We all watch it. Jimmy Traore. Jimmy's going to be in town next week, though, by the way. Be good to see him.
Speaking of memories, you spent some time professionally in St. Louis playing indoor. What are your memories of St. Louis?
Don Popovic. Precky's good friend. Look, the Midwest is a friendly place. I lived in Tulsa, Oklahoma for a year. The people are very friendly in the Midwest. The weather's extreme, both sides, but I'm positive. My son was born there in St. Louis. Good memories.
Did it surprise you? I know they've always been known as a soccer town, but has the degree to which the community has embraced St. Louis surprised you at all?
No, St. Louis was always a traditional soccer hotbed. That's back way early when it was kind of the Northwest, St. Louis, and New Jersey, New York, and then California kind of moved in and took a lot of that, attention. But, they've always been a good soccer hotbed.
See the Seattle Kraken make the playoffs last
Oh,
night?
yeah.
Have you watching some of their playoff games?
Yeah, well, I know Nico's involved. He's been there a couple of times, so that's a good feel-good story. But I did like the story that Jeff Baker wrote where he had the other teams listed at which teams made the playoffs in their, early years, and we made it in our first. Kraken's number 2. Congrats. So, yeah, it was good.
So another team that you have, or another city you have some ties to, that some news this week about San Diego. You spent some time in San Diego as a player as well. Any particular thoughts on playing Loyal in the Open Cup?
The exciting game. Landon does a great job. It's good USL franchise. My time in San Diego was, great. My daughter was born there in San Diego. Fernando Clavillo, my good friend who passed, we drove to training every day, sports arena. I mean, good vibes, good city.
More broadly about the Open Cup, it's been since 2017 that you guys have
I just
advanced.
read that. I did not know that. That's a little bit, we're going to try and correct that. We're going to really try and correct that, because I didn't like that. I didn't know that. It's a good stat, whoever brought that up. Okay. No, in the article I meant. I read that as well. So it's, because traditionally that has been, where we started. Those 4 Open Cups to start us off with Zig, and we always wanted to be the first team to do this, and we're gonna do what we can to move on.
Anything else, guys?
Okay.
I'm sorry, just real quickly. Broadly speaking, your thoughts on riding a hot hand of Jordan versus trying to get Raul reintegrated into the team?
Still keeping me up at night. And Hebert, you got to throw Hebert in the mix. I mean, it's keeping me up at night. But Jordan and Chu have done well.